Okay, with the year wrapping up in just a couple of days, I wanted to talk about some hyped up prospects that we all had high hopes for this year that didn't really go as planned and they kind of let us all down, sadly. Some of these fighters aren't even signed with the UFC anymore, so I think that says a lot about how their careers went. And some of them went from undefeated to losing streaks. And I'm not hating on them. There's nothing wrong with losing, okay? It happens to every fighter. But this is just facts. I hope they all come back from this, but this is just facts, and this is what the video is about. Starting first with probably the most disappointing one. I mean, there's a few disappointments on here. They're all disappointments, but this one was just sad, okay? Robelis Despaigne, the Olympic Taekwondo guy, the 6'7" freak show who's supposed to save the heavyweight division somewhat. And yeah, he went 1-2 in the UFC. All of his fights happened in 2024, and he's done. Got cut, got sent back into karate combat, and hey, I hope he does better there, but it did not go well. His UFC career did not go well at all. Again, he went 1-2, and in those two losses, he was completely exposed for having no grappling, no balance, no foot movement. He just threw crazy, goofy strikes, hoping to knock the person out. And yeah, it's sad. I mean, he just had zero grappling. It's just, I don't know how we didn't realize this from his goofy first knockout in his debut. Like, dude, I was hesitant on this guy's hype train that he got because he had a lot of hype coming into the UFC. He had a lot, but it did not work out. And it's not like he didn't have potential. I mean, he was very genetically gifted, 6'7", super long limbs, decent power, decent speed. He just didn't have any ability to get up from getting taken down. You know, he'd get taken down, and I don't think he reversed a single takedown in his career. I don't think he did. I think he just got controlled for the whole of the rounds. And yeah, it happened round after round. I think those last 6 rounds he fought in the UFC, he just got taken down and controlled for all of them. You know, it was it was just frustrating, you know, like you can't just train striking. You have to train it all, bro. This guy was just super disappointing from all the hype he had, but I guess like we just need to stop hyping up the Olympic guys. They're just not as good as we think they are. You know, Henry, he was an exception, but I don't think there's really been anybody who's done well in the Olympics that's come to the UFC and done well because of that. It just doesn't really mean much. Those guys make no money. It's stupid, but I'm not dissing the Olympics. It's obviously an achievement, one of the highest achievements in sporting, but it never really works out when they try to come over to these sports and like transfer that skill over. I don't know, it just never works. We'll probably never see Robelis again. He's in karate combat now. Hopefully he does better there. Now moving on to the guy who we probably all thought was going to go farthest in his division, Benoit Saint-Denis, okay? Dude, this one's just a sad story. He still can obviously bounce back from this. You know, it's just 2 losses, but he went from a 5 finish streak in the lightweight division, which is just unheard of, to a 2-loss streak where he got knocked the fuck out by Dustin Poirier and then just dominated by Renato. Like, dude, this was just a sad downfall to watch. And I do honestly feel for Benoit. I really do feel bad for him because from Matt Frivola all the way up to Dustin Poirier, the fucking vet, like that's just such a big step up, and they just try to rush him to get him a title shot as soon as possible, which, I mean, his win streak definitely justified it. It's not like he shouldn't or didn't deserve this step up in competition, but it was just too much. It was way too fast, way too soon. He just wasn't ready for it. And, I mean, I'm not saying he would have ever been ready or ever beat Dustin. I did pick him to beat Dustin. A lot of us did. We were very wrong, unfortunately, you know. These aura merchants, man. Nah, he's not even an aura merchant. He just faced good competition and lost. There's nothing wrong with it. He did good. He was beating Dustin for the whole. He was dominating him at the beginning of the fight, but yeah, he didn't dominate him going further on. He had staff that definitely had something to play into it, but I think Dustin Poirier beats him 9 times out of 10, to be honest. And then yeah, after that, he has to mainline a Paris card, the French contender. Supposed to, like, we don't have any of them, so the UFC is relying on him. So much pressure, headlining a card in his, I don't know if it's hometown, but his country, okay, against Renato Moicano, bro, who's just on his run right now. He was not beating him, and I picked Renato to win, obviously. You know, I couldn't pick against him. We all saw that he got 10-8'd in the first round, and then just I mean, it was going better in the second round, but yeah, he beat his ass too hard. They just stopped the fight because of a cut. Arguably could have kept going, but dude, Huinato beat the fuck out of him. It was probably going to continue to go that way if Huinato implemented the grappling more. But he was testing his striking, you know? Dude, no one outside the top 5 is beating Huinato, bro. It's just not happening. So Benoit definitely still has a lot of potential, but it's going to be hard, okay? It's going to be hard to bounce back from this 2-loss streak. He's taken a lot of damage. He's lost a lot of confidence. But, I mean, I could see them just feeding him a pretty easy matchup like Jalen Turner or something to where he could just grapple, fuck him, and just dominate him with the grappling. I could definitely see that. He could definitely still beat high levels of competition, but I don't know. It's going to be hard, you know, after that crazy run he went on, and now he's on a losing streak. It's all gone wrong, unfortunately. We all put so much stock into Benoit, and yeah, we were wrong. Okay, moving on to a undefeated prospect who became no longer undefeated in 2024. Okay, let's just say that. Victor Petrino, dude, this is just a sad downfall. Okay, he went from being undefeated, finishing, and then dominating people by decision at 205, just dominating everyone he was fighting, and then going on to lose to Anthony Smith by submission, and then get knocked out by Dustin Jacoby. Bro, it's not like those are bad names, but they're both at the end of the career. They're both out of their primes. It's just like, fuck, man. They're not good names to be losing to. Got finished by both of them. Went from undefeated in the UFC to a 2 losing streak. This is just a crazy, unexpected downfall. And I kind of feel bad, but then I don't, because this dumbass started it all by just with low IQ. He literally just lost because of IQ. Shot a shitty takedown at Anthony Smith, shoved his head right into a guillotine, basically give him a free win, which I'm grateful for, okay? Thanks for giving him his last win he'll probably ever see in the UFC, unfortunately. But, dude, then he got knocked into the fucking shadow realm by Jacoby, which I picked Jacoby to win, by the way. I'm not trying to flex my picks or nothing, but I knew he was going to win, okay? I knew he had that shit. But, yeah, Victor Petrino, I just called that he was going to go on a downward spiral after that Dominic Smith loss, you know? It's just Dominic Reyes. What the fuck am I saying? It's just his IQ is shit, and he makes bad decisions in fights. He gets too excited in there. I don't know. His IQ is very bad. Like, I honestly feel fucking bad because he had to lose to Anthony Smith and listen to him say after the fight, you know, man, there's just levels to this, you know? Oh, I'd be fucking pissed. Yeah, I'd be so pissed, dude. Anthony Smith, that win was a fluke, respectfully. You should have lost that by decision, okay? But he just shot a shitty takedown and gave you a free win, which, dude, like, just so dumb. I remember being so mad he ruined my parlay. Dude, like, what were you doing, man? And then Jacoby sent him to the fucking Shadow Realm. You know, that fight was pretty competitive, pretty boring up until the finish. I actually was falling asleep to it until Jacoby woke my ass up with that knockout. It was insane. But, yeah, it's just unfortunate, man. And it really is sad because he's super active. He's a chill guy. He's pretty entertaining. He can get finishes. He can have fun decisions as well. He's a little plotty at times, but his striking's so fun. It's like Figgy. It's just, it sucks. But hopefully he can bounce back from this. He definitely can. He just has to, I don't even know, man. I don't know what went wrong in the Jacoby fight. Jacoby just landed that perfect shot, but it's a Jacoby who's like 2-6 in his last 8 at the end of his career. Was about to be cut if he lost that. It's just bad loss after bad loss. It's going to be hard. Okay, moving on to the only woman's fighter on this list, okay? Wang Cong let us all down, man. This is just proof, again, just confirmed for me even more that we cannot put any stock into these women's contenders. We cannot put any stock into them going undefeated. These bitches cannot stay undefeated up until their title runs. On their title runs up until the title. They just can't. They have to lose and get exposed. Like, it's just, dude, she's so fun too, and she's such a good character. This was so sad. Yeah, she's just so fun to watch as well. This was terrible, man. Like, I forget who her beat. I think Gabriel something beat her. Props to her. She's good. She's a good fighter, but yeah, Wang Kong's boxing's really good still. It is. You know, she just has to work on her defense and her composure and not get as excited and crazy and just run forward and try to get the fight finished as early as possible, which she kind of tried to do. Yeah, it's not going to work every fight, you know? You got to take your time, pick your shots more. Her boxing's still clean. She's still powerful for her division. She's still good, but fuck, man. Like, we just can't put stock into these women's prospects. We just can't. There's none. There's none we can believe in. Next, I will talk about Kai Asakura as well. I might as well mention him, just a little filler spot because he wasn't really a prospect. He was a champion from another division who we all acknowledged that he probably was going to get exposed for not being as good as the UFC level competition. But yeah, a lot of people believed in him. A lot of people thought he had aura because he did. He had a lot of aura. He was low-key just fucking with Pantoja, smiling at him through the glass when he was doing an interview, and I was believing into it a little. Obviously, picked Pantoja because I'm not a fucking idiot. I knew Pantoja was gonna dominate him. Obviously, finish him in 2 rounds like he did. But man, Kai is so entertaining. I just hope he can continue to, or not continue, isn't one yet, but I hope he can go on to win in the UFC and not get exposed for his grappling being that shit. He might have to finish these people early to get some wins because his grappling, his defensive grappling, it's not good enough. I don't think it's that good. Pantoja's a very good grappler. No one's going to out-scramble him. There's no shame in losing a scramble and getting subbed by Pantoja. But still, it makes me worry for his future. I still believe him a little bit, but yeah, just disappointing. He got dominated, finished in 2 rounds. The UFC put a lot of pressure on him, a lot of stock into him to have a title shot on his debut in the UFC. Crazy, unheard of. But yeah, hopefully he can bounce back. He's very entertaining, very crazy on the feet. Just, dude, what's crazy is he rocked Pantoja with like a knee to the neck, and it just didn't even affect Pantoja, dude. I don't know who's going to beat Pantoja. Next fighter I want to talk about is Jack Shore, and I don't want to disrespect him. Okay, I really don't want to disrespect the dude. He retired. He's moving on from fighting. I feel like a douchebag talking about him, putting him down, but yeah, he's a cool guy, and I have to mention him anyway, He went undefeated at 135, was really entertaining, really cool, fun grappler, really skilled, and then he takes like 1 loss to Ricky Simon, and he's like, I have to move up. I have to redefine myself at a new division. I've failed at this division. Or maybe this weight cut just was too bad. I don't really know, but he was not good at 145. He was too small. If the weight cut was bad, then he's skinny fat because, dude, he's not big enough for 145. He just wasn't, okay? He then went on to get a sub in his 145 debut, but then he just went on to get brutal. Well, I'm not going to say brutally finished because the Joe Anderson-Brito stoppage was bullshit, okay? He was bleeding from his leg. What the fuck, man? Why was that fight stopped? Complete bullshit. And yeah, then he got finished by Yusuf Zalal, right? Yeah. Bro, and then he retired. It's just unfortunate. This guy basically went undefeated up until his loss streak. And yeah, it was just, he's really good. Really entertaining fighter. Really fun to watch. The UFC was going to re-sign him. They weren't going to cut him. But yeah, he decided to retire. Move on to bigger and better things. I guess that's just how shitty the fucking sport pays them. Or maybe just injuries plagued his career. I don't know. Only he knows. Respect to him for giving us the fights he gave us. And yeah, he'll be missed. Okay, my last fighter I want to talk about, and I kind of feel bad about talking about him too, because he's kind of been fed to the dogs, the wolves, bro. Bruno Silva at 185. I feel bad for him, man, because he's been fed Alex Pereira, Shara Magomedov, Gerald Meerschaert. Dude, Gerald Meerschaert's a monster, man. I don't want to hear it. And yeah, Brendan Allen, and then he had to fight Chris Weidman and just got done dirty, eye poke TKO'd. But yeah, that doesn't change anything. He went on a 4-fight losing streak. He's probably going to be cut. Maybe not. Maybe he'll get one more shot. But yeah, he just looks terrible. He looked so bad in his fights this year. Just so bad, In his fight with Ismail, he was so plotty. Didn't even look like he wanted to be in there. I don't know what happened, man. He was really good at the beginning of his career. He gave Alex Pereira a decent fight. But, dude, it just all fell apart, and he'll probably be cut now. Unfortunate, it doesn't all work out. Life is life. But, yeah, I feel bad talking about him, too, just because, I don't know, he just doesn't even feel like it doesn't look like he wants to be in there. So, then again, I shouldn't feel bad. If you don't want to be in there, don't be in there. You're here to entertain the fans, okay? That sounds harsh, but it's true. Unfortunate. Failed prospect. He'll probably be cut. It's probably over. But yeah, that's the video, boys. I just want to talk about these failed prospects because I realized there was a lot this year, okay? Obviously, we're going to have people lose, obviously. There has to be someone losing in every single fight, but it was just surprising how many undefeated and hyped up prospects that went on crazy runs that we thought was going to get to the title just didn't. They all ended up going on losing streaks. It's unfortunate, man, but this is MMA. It happens. This is the UFC. It's all bullshit. It's barely a sport anyway, but we love it. I love it. I'm never going to stop talking about it. It's the best sport in the world, okay? I'll see you guys in the next one.